If you have kids in school, you're probably familiar with the Diary of a Wimpy Kid series. I know my son loves it, and there's a new edition. Book 15 is called In the Deep End.
Yeah, and there's a really neat event happening in our state where you can drive through themed interactive setups. Author Jeff Kinney is here to tell us more about it. Jeff, thank you so much for being back on Better Connecticut. We love to have you.
I appreciate you having me. Thanks so much.
So this is so cool because, especially this year, I think it's even more challenging with kids in school and all they're managing to get them excited about reading. So this is going to be interactive. They don't have to stay at home alone and read. They get to go through like a pop-up drive-through of your new book.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It's called the Deep End Drive-Through Pool Party. And so I think the name says it all, is that families drive through, they stay in their cars, everybody's wearing masks, and they go through these different experiences. They have a lifeguard that's kind of shouting rules at them, squirting them with squirt guns. And then there's a few things where you can like throw a ball into buckets, and then the family gets to drive through the deep end. So it feels like they're driving through the bottom of a pool. And when they come up, I hand off the book with a 7-foot pool skimmer, and then I take a picture with the kids, and then I get them with a water balloon on the way out. So it's fun. It's the most fun that you can have in your car, I think.
And Jeff, you're doing this across? It's not just here in Connecticut. Is this across the nation that you're doing this book tour?
Actually, from Washington D.C. up to New Hampshire.
Okay.
So we're staying in the Acela corridor, really.
Okay. And does it require a lot of setup before each thing?
Yeah, a few hours of setup before each thing. It's a pretty extravagant affair. We have lights and music, and you can tune in your radio to a certain station, and it's pretty extravagant. It's pretty cool.
So why did you decide to do this kind of a book tour?
I knew that by this time kids would be really sick of seeing everything like this, heads and shoulders on screens, and that kids would need something physical. Also, I think that kids really need something that's not canceled. They've had so many disappointments in this.
Like trick-or-treating and everything else.
Like everything in their whole lives.
Yeah. And in fact, we're in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and it's raining, and I'm like, wow, we're going to get out there. I think we're just going to have to go for it and get out there in the rain.
What do you think it is? I mean, Kara, I don't have children, so I haven't read the books, but Kara has children, and she says that these books, the kids are drawn to them more than any other book.
Well, I think it's like they're fun, and I think you even designed them for maybe the kid who doesn't always love to read. There are those kids who love to sit down with a book, but if you don't have one of those, they love to sit down with yours.
Yeah, well, thank you for that. That's really cool. I think that when you open up one of my books, it doesn't look like work. It looks like fun. And I think it's important for a kid to be met with the right book at the right time. I think it's, God bless those kids who can just read books without pictures. Harry Potter, the Harry Potter books were great. And my kid gravitated to those. But there are some kids who need to be drawn through the book. And so my books have pictures on every page, and I think it really the images reward the kid as they read along.
And I hate to ask this question, but are you the Wimpy Kid?
Well, I don't have a lot there right now. I'm trying. Actually, that was worse than I thought it was going to look. Unfortunately, I was and am sort of the Wimpy Kid, and Greg Heffley is me, but with my worst parts amplified. I think he's not a bad kid. He's just not a hero.
Oh well.
Well, look, but you turned into a best-selling author and have kids all over loving you.
Right. Thanks.
And also, people should know that I don't know with the pandemic how it is, but you can take a little field trip from here to your bookstore in Massachusetts, where sometimes they'll even see you.
That's right. We have a bookstore called An Unlikely Story in Plainville, Massachusetts, and it's a great independent bookstore. And independent bookstores right now need our love. So if you have one in your community, think about supporting them right now because they sure do need it.
Okay, so you're going to be in several places.
Yeah, November 2nd, 5 p.m. You're going to Glastonbury, the Riverbend Bookshop.
And then the New Canaan Library, Thursday, November 5th. Friday, November 6th at Mystic, Connecticut, Bank Square Books. You're really
Yeah.
taking Connecticut by storm here.
Yeah, 19 stops on this trip, so I'm really
wow.
excited
That's
about
incredible.
making those stops in Connecticut.
And
3.
we should let everyone know it is something you want to buy a ticket for ahead of time, and so you can go right to those websites, and we'll get those on betterct.com for you. But you buy a ticket, that way you don't have to exchange any cash or do anything when you're there, and you get a book with the drive-through, a signed book.
That's right. Yes, you do.
Well, that's awesome. We thank you so much for being with us, and thank you so much for going on tour amidst the pandemic. We appreciate that very much as well.
Thanks to you, and thanks for all the kids who are going to come out to see me. I appreciate your support.
That's
Absolutely.
awesome. I might actually go out and see him.
You can come. Maybe you and I will take Julian. It's not canceled.
It's not canceled. Is right. Exactly.